Hello, everybody, and welcome to Feel Good Friday on Church at Home with Rachel. It is Friday the 13th, so Feel Good Friday, Superstitious Friday. What do you think? Well, it's up to you what you make of it. I was reading a passage the other day from Celtic Daily Prayer, talking about these three monks who had been walking on a pilgrimage through chaos and poverty in a war-stricken area of England in 1074. And it shared with me something that reminded me of a feel-good thing, so bear with me here. As the initial thrill of adventure wore off, no doubt they settled into a routine. This mundane part of pilgrimage is often where its deeper purposes begin to blossom. With time, there are no longer individuals on personal journeys of pilgrimage, penance, or protest. Far rather, we recognize an emerging community as they journey together into the unknown. As we do, they also wrestle with questions of purpose and calling, seeking to submit to one another with Christ in their midst. Each day on the road, within their rhythm and prayer, they would ignore that part, we'll just leave it alone. But so this idea that they were walking together, and at first, if you've ever gone on a road trip or anything, the excitement of it all, especially a long one. 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, Rob and I went on a road trip. So, summer of 2023. Dude, our dog, had died in May, and we had a family reunion. My family was having a big family reunion, not just my own aunts and uncles and cousins, but my great aunts and uncles and cousins, like the whole big family was coming together in Ontario, and we lived in Wainwright, Alberta. So Rob and I decided we're going to make a trip of this, and we'd also made some friends via this YouTube channel, Church at Home, and decided, we're going to drive to the east, go back to Ontario, and we're going to come back and we're going to do drive-ins, diners, and dives kind of barbecue route through the States. So we planned for weeks. I booked hotel rooms. We're going to go to Yellowstone, and we went to Mount Rushmore. We had hotels booked in Louisville, Kentucky, just to go see our friend Kim and Jerry. Our first night was in North Dakota. Second night, sorry, was in North Dakota. We met our other friend Kim. Shout out to both Kims and Jerry. And we had a great time. We were planned. We were ready. We had American money. We had Canadian money. We had toll change. We had everything organized. And so we decided. I was working on the Friday. We were supposed to leave on Saturday morning, and Rob said to me on Friday at noon. He called me. He's like, "Let's leave tonight." We were going to drive from Wainwright all the way, get up in the morning, drive all the way down to North Dakota. A long drive, a lot longer than we thought. The Google on our phones said it was about a 12-hour drive. It turns out it was more like a 15-hour drive. So Rob was just itchy to go. He was done work, so he said, "Let's just go now." He booked us a hotel in Saskatoon, which is about 3 hours away from Wainwright, sort of on the way. And we hopped in the truck, packed our things, and hopped in the truck and took off and went to Saskatoon. And at first night, we stopped for dinner in Saskatoon, at a place called Fuddruckers, really good hamburgers. And it was a place that Rob used to go when he lived in Saskatchewan. And it was great that first, the first excitement of, getting everything out of the truck and getting to the hotel, and the excitement and everything. And then the next morning, getting up early when you still have the energy to get up early to get going. And we went to the Denny's that was attached to the hotel and had amazing pancakes, and then got some gas and got on the road and spent the day learning how to travel together. It had been a long time since we'd done a good road trip. And it was a reminder to me of the rhythm and routine, like, because we'd done it several times. When we lived in Nova Scotia, we drove back to Ontario at least once or twice a year. So that's 2 full days driving. It's a good 24-hour straight if you do it all in one trip. And so we've done it before, but it had been a while. And it reminded me, because this trip we were taking was 3 weeks long. It wasn't just 2 days, it was 3 full weeks. And it reminded me that once we get over the initial blush and excitement of getting up and going and everything. And then you get over the hump on the second day of you're tired and you don't want to get up, but you know you got to get up because it's a 12-hour trip today and it's like all the driving and realizing that when you're not the driver, you tend to fall asleep, which isn't very happy for the driver. That would be me. I'm the one who falls asleep. And but then we hit this rhythm. On about the third day into our trip, we just found that piece of talking and listening and being silent. And we had Sirius radio on in the truck, so we were listening to football games and or I guess it wouldn't be football in the summer. Don't know what it was, but you know, Broadway radio and CDs and all the things. And then just listening to the silence and watching the world go by, stopping and taking pictures and remembering and listening to stories about when we were children, sharing things with each other that we weren't together to share before. That feeling of entering into the pilgrimage, the journey. And it stopped being about how awesome, although it was totally awesome to see Kim in North Dakota and to see Kim and go out for dinner with her at Guy Fieri's in Louisville and all the things, other things that we did. But the best part was when we sort of settled into the rhythm and realized that the whole purpose, the joy, the wonder, the beauty of this wasn't in the incredible scenery that we saw or the exciting places that we stopped. It was in each moment of just being together, listening to one another, listening to the silence, learning how to be together again after so many years of both of us working full time and moving fast and, passing each other like ships in the night. Just being able to be. It felt good. It's important that we recognize that the journey is usually not really about the destination. What really feels good is how we journey. Where we journey is important, but how we get there, how we navigate that journey, the people that we navigate it with. So as you head into your weekend, for us, it's a long weekend. This weekend is Monday is Louis Riel Day, so it's a long weekend for us. Monday's a holiday. As you head into your weekend, or your long weekend if it is for you, I pray that you will pay attention to the journey and allow yourself to feel good about where you are. And even if it's where your journey is taking you may feel difficult or not quite what you had anticipated, allow yourself to be present to yourself, to the people you're with, to God, and learn, reflect, accept the truth that this journey is giving you. It's totally worth it. I think that forever, my trip to the East, going to Ontario with Rob in 2023, was probably one of the best trips I've ever taken. Changed my life. And it set me up for the things that were about to happen, like being elected a bishop and moving to Brandon, and all of the things for both of us that were about to happen as well. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your journey. Let me know how it's going. God bless. See you Sunday for church or Gospel on the Go, or Monday for Church at Home with Rachael.